All right, y'all. So here we go. This is. Well, actually, the reason I got back into video games was because of Elder Scrolls 6, whenever that's coming out. I know it's coming out this generation, but I always hoped that something like this would come. A remake, which this isn't a remake, it's a remaster, but them re-releasing Mass Effect. Absolutely all-time favorite series. So very, very excited about this. Just hearing the music right now is getting me hyped up for just remembering playing it before, how much fun that was. So here we go. Let's get right into it. What do we got for extras here? Achievements, options, graphics, motion blur, film grain. Favorite quality offers increased resolution and reduced frame rate. Favorite frame rate adjust resolution to obtain higher FPS where applicable quality. Let's go with a higher frame rate, I think. Yeah, okay. Did it save it? I think it saved it. Yep, okay. Alright, let's just make sure everything is just right. I guess I can't adjust that. Okay. So the logo is no longer visible. Almost invisible there. I guess we'll go there. Calibrates peak brightness. Adjust the slider until the logo is no longer visible. I don't even see a logo. There it is. Alright. Make sure. Good there. We don't need to adjust the controls, right? That looks good. Difficulty, yes. Off. No, okay. No, they can use all their. That's fine. I guess. I mean, yeah. I'm not looking to be super micromanaging with the squad necessarily. We'll try with all their powers first and see. Autosave on, enable tutorials, yes. Alright, I think we're good. Not doing subtitles because I hate subtitles. As long as it comes through alright for y'all. Okay, I think we're good. Let's get into it.
Welcome to Alliance
I'm so excited for this.
Database. Classified information requested. Establishing secure connection. Secure connection confirmed.
All right. Yeah, let's create from the beginning. Oh, I'm trying to think. I always played as male shepherd before. Let's play as female shepherd this time.
Please log in to access your profile.
Who do we want? What name?
Warning, data corruption detected. Please
Oh
reconstruct
no, data
profile.
corruption. Yes, let's do that.
Confirm pre-service history.
Okay, so both of your parents were in the Alliance military. Your childhood was spent on ships and stations as they transferred from posting to posting, never staying in one location for more than a few years. Following in your parents' footsteps, you enlisted at 18. Or you were born and raised on Mindor. a small border colony in the Anakin Traverse. When you were 16, slavers raided, slaughtering your family and friends. You were saved by passing Alliance patrol, and you enlisted in the military a few years later. Born on Earth, you were an orphan raised on the streets of the great megatropolises covering Earth. You escaped the life of petty crime and underworld gangs by enlisting with the Alliance military when you turned 18. Let's go Earthborn.
Psychological profile.
All right, and so then, let's see. During your service, a mission you were on went horribly wrong. Trapped in an extreme survival situation, you had to overcome physical torments and psychological stresses that would have broken most people. You survived while all those around you fell, and now you alone are left to tell a tale. War hero. Early in your military career, you found yourself facing an overwhelming enemy force. You risked your own life to save your fellow soldiers and defeat the enemy despite the impossible odds. Your bravery and heroism have earned you medals and recognition from the Alliance fleet. Throughout your military career, you've held fast to one basic rule: get the job done. You've been called cold, calculating, and brutal. Your reputation for ruthless efficiency makes your fellow soldiers wary of you. But when failure is not an option, the military always goes to you first. Let's go Soul Survivor. I think that growing up in the slums of Earth gave her some survival
military
skills that
specialization.
showed up when they needed to most. Soldiers are combat specialists. I don't want to be straight soldier. I really think the adept, but then isn't there? Okay, Sentinel is the engineer adept combo, right? Sentinels combine biotic and tech abilities. Biotic abilities and advanced healing skills to defend allies. They can also disrupt opponents with biotic or tech attacks. You're more efficient at tech and biotics than other classes, but at the expense of combat. Vanguards are biotic warriors. They combine biotics and weapons to take down opponents and are especially deadly at short range. Specialize in pistols and shotguns and wear medium armor. Are you Vanguard or Sentinel? Let's be Sentinel. Sentinel.
Confirm facial identification.
All right, this is gonna take a minute. Let's see what we got. I just realized her eyes move where I put the. That's creepy. Look left, right? Look left? Look left. Oh, that's weird. Okay. I think that's good. Oh, that's super. Let's go somewhere in the middle. All right. I'm not seeing a lot of difference there. Oh, I see. There it is. Ear size, can't even see her ears. We're just leave this alone. Eye orient. Oh, no, come here. Oh, ears orientation. I thought I said eye orientation. That's fine. All right. That's what? Okay. The eyeballs staying right where they are while the eye is shifting like that is kind of weird. I'm not gonna mess with the eye height. Well, yeah, okay, let's see. Oh, that really does make a difference in the way that. Oh, and the way a person looks is how. Oh, look straight ahead. That's weird. Oh. Red an option? Whoa, that's cool. That's cool too, though. Wait, purple. Yeah, we're going purple. It's a Targaryen. So you know what color that means her hair has to be then, right? What's really cool is that supposedly they have connected all of the, like, this is going to be my character. I don't have to redo the character at the beginning of number 2 and 3. The character creation is the same across the board and just carries over. No. Like Willem Dafoe. Alright, so we know what color we gotta go for here. If they have it. Oh no. Alright, so that's kind of gray. They're not a. It's blonde. I guess that's the closest we're gonna get to Or is the gray closer to Targaryen blonde? No, that's very gray. Alright. Let's start at the beginning here. Okay. That's kind of cool. I like that. That's pretty neat. I don't really think she's gonna go wearing lipstick on missions. Oh, actually black though, that's kind of cool with the hair. No, we'll take it off. Yeah. Alright, so where is the... Oh, that's cool. Where's that one? I don't see it. Oh, there it is. Ooh, I like that one. I don't see this one. Oh, it's probably none. So that one or that one. That one.
Profile reconstruction complete.
Yeah. Okay.
Identification confirmed.
All right.
Well, what about Shepard? Earthborn, but no record of her family.
Doesn't have one. She was raised on the streets, learned to look out for herself.
She saw her whole unit die on a cruise. She could have some serious emotional scars.
Every soldier has scars. Shepard's a survivor.
Is that the kind of person we want protecting the galaxy?
That's the only kind of person who can protect the galaxy.
I'll make the call.
Nice. I love this music.
The Arcturus Prime relay is in range. Initiating transmission sequence.
Commander?
We are connected. Calculating transit mass and destination. The relay is hot. Acquiring approach vector. All stations secure for transit. Board is green. Approach run has begun.
thrusters, check. Navigation, check. Internal emissions sync engaged. All systems online. Drift, just under 1,500K.
Was he there from the
1,500
beginning?
is
I
good.
don't remember.
Your captain will be pleased.
I hate that guy.
Nihilus gave you a compliment. So you hate him.
You remember to zip up your jumpsuit on the way out of the bathroom? That's good. I just jumped us halfway across the galaxy and hit a target the size of a pinhead, so that's incredible. Besides, Spectres are trouble. I don't like having them on board. Call me paranoid.
You're paranoid. The Council helped fund this project. They have a right to send someone to keep an eye on their investment.
Yeah, that is the official story, but only an idiot believes the official story.
They don't send Spectres on shakedown runs.
So there's more going on here than the captain's letting on.
Joker, status report.
Just cleared the mass relay, Captain. Stealth systems engaged. Everything looks solid.
Good. Find a comm buoy and link us into the network. I want mission reports relayed back to Alliance brass before we reach Eden Prime.
Aye, aye, Captain. Better brace yourself, sir. I think Nihilus is headed your way.
He's already here, Lieutenant. Tell Commander Shepard to meet me in the comm room for a debriefing.
You get that, Commander?
Great. You pissed the captain off and now I'm gonna pay for it.
Don't blame me. The captain's always in a bad mood.
Only when he's talking to you, Joker.
So we got 3 points. So all right, so let's see. I think what we'll do, let's do this. Let's put 1 and 2 barrier. One into Sentinel. One and 2 intimidate. That's a lot. I don't know if I'm gonna read everything.
The Systems Alliance is an independent supranational government representing the interests of humanity as a whole. The Alliance is responsible for the governance and defense of all extrasolar colonies and stations. The Alliance grew out of the various national space programs as a matter of practicality. Sol's planets had been explored and exploited through piecemeal national efforts. The expense of colonizing entire new solar systems could not be met by any one country. With humans knowing that alien contact was inevitable, there was enough political will to jointly fund an international effort. Still, the alliance was often disregarded by those on Earth until the First Contact War. While the national governments dithered and bickered over who should lead the effort to liberate Shanxi, the Alliance fleet struck decisively. Post-war public approval gave the Alliance the credibility to establish its own parliament and become the galactic face of humanity. Roughly 1,200 years ago, the Turians were invited to join the Citadel Council to fulfill the role of galactic peacekeepers. The Turians have the largest fleet in Citadel space, and they make up the single largest portion of the Council's military forces. As their territory and influence has spread, the Turians have come to rely on the Solarians for military intelligence and the Asari for diplomacy. Despite a somewhat colonial attitude towards the rest of the galaxy, the ruling hierarchy understands they would lose more than they would gain if the other two races were ever removed. Turians come from an autocratic society that values discipline and possesses a strong sense of personal and collective honor. There is lingering animosity between Turians and humans over the First Contact War of 2157, which is known as the Relay 314 incident to the Turians. Officially, however, the two species are allies, and they enjoy civil, if cool, diplomatic relations.
All right. We're gonna save a lot, because we're not gonna have a Witcher 3 incident, that's for sure.
You probably don't want to keep the captain waiting, Commander.
The captain's waiting for you in the comm room, Commander.
I can't believe I didn't remember Seth Green was in the first Mass Effect.
He's a Spectre. They're always on him.
Congratulations, Commander. Looks like we had a smooth run. You heading down to see the captain?
Sounds like you don't trust our Turian guest.
Sorry, Commander. Just having a chat with Adams down at engineering. I didn't mean to cause any trouble. But you have to admit, something's odd about this mission. The whole crew feels it.
Alright. Oh, hold on. Trying to figure something out here. Oh, there we go. Okay. All right.
You think the Alliance brass is holding out on us?
If all we're supposed to do is test out the stealth system, why is Captain Anderson in charge? And then there's Nihilus. Spectres are elite operatives, top covert agents. Why send a Spectre, a Turian Spectre, on a shakedown run? It doesn't add up.
I'll see if I can get some answers when I see him.
Good luck, Commander.
Trying to figure out how I want to play Shepard.
It's not the kind of place Spectres visit. There's something Nihilus isn't telling us about. What do you think, Commander? We won't be staying on Eden Prime too long, will we? I'm itching for some real action.
I sincerely hope you're kidding, Corporal. Your real action usually ends with me patching up crew members in the infirmary.
Marines are meant to fight. You just fix us up and we're done.
I know how things work, Commander. I've seen my share of combat, but it's foolish to go looking for trouble. You could both take a lesson from the captain. He's not afraid of combat, but he knows the value of restraint, too.
Sorry, Doc, but this waiting's killing me. I've never been on a mission like this before, not one with a Spectre on board.
What do you know about the Spectres?
Only what I've heard. Spectre agents work directly for the Citadel Council. They usually work alone or in small groups. Spectres don't have any official power, though. Basically, they're a shadow organization with a mandate to preserve and protect galactic stability.
Protect it at any cost. Don't forget that part. Spectres operate above the law.
Why don't we have any of our own people in there?
Spectres usually come from the Council races, like the Turians. We've been trying to get a human accepted into their ranks for years now. So far, it hasn't happened.
Hey, Commander, you'd make a good Spectre. You're always getting dropped into impossible situations, forced to survive unbeatable odds, just like you on Akuz.
How do you control agents with unlimited power?
I suppose the Council could revoke the Spectre status of an agent who got out of hand. At that point, Citadel Security Services would take over.
Those C-Sec grunts wouldn't stand a chance. The Spectres were 20 ordinary soldiers. The Spectres police themselves. An agent goes rogue, they send another agent to take him down. That's Spectre justice.
The Corporal's confusing romantic legends with reality, Commander.
The captain's waiting for me.
Goodbye, Commander.
Whoa! Put that away. No, put that away. No!
Commander Shepard, I was hoping you'd
Did I
get
throw a
here
grenade?
first. It will give us a chance to talk.
I did throw a grenade.
The captain said he'd meet me here.
He's on his way. I'm interested in this world we're going to, Eden Prime. I've heard it's quite beautiful.
They say it's a paradise.
Yes, a paradise. Serene, tranquil, safe. Eden Prime has become something of a symbol for your people, hasn't it? Proof that humanity can not only establish colonies across the galaxy, but also protect them. But how safe is it, really?
If you've got something to say, just say it.
Your people are still newcomers, Shepard. The galaxy can be a very dangerous place. Is the Alliance truly ready for this?
I think it's about time we told the commander what's really going on.
This mission is far more than a simple shakedown run.
I already figured that out.
We're making a covert pickup on Eden Prime. That's why we needed the stealth systems operational.
There must be a reason you didn't tell me about this, sir?
This comes down from the top, Commander. Information strictly on a need-to-know basis. A research team on Eden Prime unearthed some kind of beacon during an excavation. It was Prothean.
I thought the Protheans vanished 50,000 years ago.
Their legacy still remains. The mass relays, the Citadel, our ship drives. It's all based on Prothean technology.
This is big, Shepard. The last time humanity made a discovery like this, it jumped our technology forward 200 years. But Eden Prime doesn't have the facilities to handle something like this. We need to bring the beacon back to the Citadel for proper study.
Obviously, this goes beyond mere human interests, Commander. This discovery could affect every species in Council space.
Are we expecting trouble?
I'm always expecting trouble.
There's more, Shepard. Nihilus isn't just here for the beacon. He's also here to evaluate you.
What's going on, Captain?
The Alliance has been pushing for this for a long time. Humanity wants a larger role in shaping interstellar policy. We want more say with the Citadel Council. The Spectres represent the Council's power and authority. If they accept a human into their ranks, it shows how far the Alliance has come.
Not many could have survived what you went through on Akuz. You showed a remarkable will to live, a particularly useful talent. That's why I put your name forward as a candidate for the Spectres.
Why would a Turian want a human in the Spectres?
Not all Turians resent humanity. Some of us see the potential of your species. We see what you have to offer to the rest of the galaxy, and to the Spectres. We are an elite group. It's rare to find an individual with the skills we seek. I don't care that you're human, Shepard. I only care that you can do the job.
I assume this is good for the Alliance.
Earth needs this, Shepard. We're counting on you.
I need to see your skills for myself, Commander. Eden Prime will be the first of several missions together.
You'll be in charge of the ground team. Secure the beacon and get it onto the ship ASAP. Nihilus will accompany you to observe the mission.
What do you know about the Protheans?
Just what they taught us in school. They were a technologically advanced species that ruled the galaxy 50,000 years ago. Then they vanished. Nobody really knows how or why, though I've heard plenty.
Yeah, we'll find out, though.
But everyone agrees, galactic civilization wouldn't exist without them.
Their citadel is the very heart of galactic society, and without their mass relays, interstellar travel would be impossible. We all owe the Protheans a great debt.
I'd like to know more about Eden Prime before we touch down.
It's a peaceful farming world, but it represents something much bigger. Eden Prime is one of our oldest and most successful colonies. It proved we were ready to face the challenges of settling new worlds, to forge a place for humanity beyond Earth. It symbolizes humanity's growth and evolution as a spacefaring species. And after this, it will be known as the world where humans made a discovery of galactic importance.
Why is this beacon so important?
All advanced galactic civilization is based on Prothean technology, even yours.
If we hadn't discovered those Prothean ruins buried on Mars, we'd still be stuck on Earth. That was just a small data cache. Who knows what we can learn from this beacon? What if it's a weapons archive? We can't let it fall into the wrong hands.
Like who?
The Attican Traverse isn't the most stable sector of Citadel space. There are plenty of raiders and criminal groups active in the region. They might figure a Prothean beacon is worth the risk of attacking an Alliance ship. Plus, Eden Prime is right on the border of the Terminus systems.
The Attican Traverse is under Citadel protection. If the Terminus systems attack, it's an act of war.
Technically, yes. But some of the species in the Terminus might be willing to start a war over this.
The last thing the Council wants is to get dragged into a major conflict with the Terminus systems. We have to keep this low-key.
Just give the word, Captain.
We should be getting close to Eden.
Captain, we got a problem.
What's wrong, Joker?
Transmission from Eden Prime, sir. You better see this.
Bring it up on screen.
Whoops.
Get down!
We are under attack, taking heavy casualties. I repeat, heavy casualties. We can't get evac. They came out of nowhere. We need...
Oh boy. God, those things are so scary.
Everything cuts out after that. No comm traffic at all. Just goes dead. There's nothing.
Reverse and hold at 38.5. Status report.
17 minutes out, Captain. No other Alliance ships in the area.
Take us in, Joker, fast and quiet. This mission just got a lot more complicated.
A small strike team can move quickly, without drawing attention. It's our best chance to secure the beacon.
Grab your gear and meet us in the cargo hold. Tell Alenko and Jenkins to suit up, Commander. You're going in.
Engaging stealth systems. Somebody was doing some serious digging here, Captain.
Your team's the muscle in this operation, Commander. Go in heavy and head straight for the dig site.
What about survivors, Captain?
Helping survivors is a secondary objective. The beacon's your top priority.
Approaching drop point 1.
Nihilus, you're coming with us?
I move faster on my own.
Nihilus will scout out ahead. He'll feed you status reports throughout the mission. Otherwise, I want radio silence.
I don't like putting my life in the hands of a Turian, sir.
Nihilus is on our side. He wants you in the Spectres, and he wants that beacon.
Ready and able, sir.
The mission's yours now, Shepard. Good luck!
We are approaching drop point 2.
Ship perimeter secure, Commander.
dig site. Oh, okay. That's right. I forgot. He's a sentinel. I thought he was a adept. Soldier, so
Roughly 50,000 years ago, the Protheans were the only spacefaring species in the galaxy. They vanished in a swift galactic extinction. Only the legacy of their empire remains. They are believed to have built the mass relays and the Citadel, which have allowed numerous species to explore and expand throughout the galaxy. Prothean ruins are found on worlds across the galaxy. While surprisingly intact for their age, functioning examples of Prothean paleotechnology are rare. Time and generations of looters have picked their dead cities and derelict stations clean. Some believe the Protheans meddled in the evolution of younger races. The Hanar homeworld of Kajay, for example, shows clear evidence of former Prothean occupation. The presence of a former Prothean observation post on Mars has caused a rebirth of interventionary evolutionists among humans. These individuals believe the god myths of ancient civilizations are misremembered encounters with aliens. Spectres are agents from the Office of Special Tactics and Reconnaissance, and answer only to the Citadel Council. They are elite military operatives, granted the authority to deal with threats to peace and stability in whatever way they deem necessary. They operate independently or in groups of 2 or 3. Some are empathetic peacekeepers, resolving disputes through diplomacy. Others are cold-blooded assassins, ruthlessly dispatching problem individuals. All get the job done one way or another, often operating outside the bounds of galactic law. The Spectres were founded after the Solarians joined the Council. For many years, they operated in secrecy as backroom problem solvers. Only after the Krogan rebellions did their activities become publicized. Assignment of a Spectre is less contentious than a military deployment, but makes it clear that the Council is concerned about a situation. The Terminus systems are located on the far side of the Attican Traverse, beyond the space administered by the Citadel Council or claimed by the Human Systems Alliance. It is populated by a loose affiliation of minor species, united only in their refusal to acknowledge the political authority of the Council or adhere to the Citadel conventions. Their independence comes at a price. The Terminus is fraught with conflict. War among the various species is common, as governments and dictators constantly rise and fall. The region is a haven for illegal activities, particularly piracy and the slave trade. At least once a year, a fleet from the Terminus invades the nearby Attican Traverse. These attacks are typically small raids against poorly defended colonies. The Council rarely retaliates, as sending patrols into the Terminus systems could unify the disparate species against their common foe, triggering a long and costly war.
Oh, we don't want to do that. All right. Where are we going?
What the hell are those? Gas bags. Don't worry, they're harmless. Oh God, what happened here?
Okay. Oh, okay. That's Caden. This is me. Sabotage, barrier, throw, and that's what's his nuts. All right. Don't I have? What's that other weapon though? How do I get? Why can't I get that? Oh, there we go. So, Major, pistol. I have all of them. Oh, okay. Oh, that's right over him. He's a red shirt. Oh, okay.
Rip right through his shields. We're out of chance.
Sometimes Marines die. The rest of us just have to carry on. We still have to find that beacon.
I messed her lips up. I wish I could adjust that. Maybe in Mass Effect 2, maybe I could adjust it at the beginning of the game. Alright, so let's keep moving. Metajail is needed to heal. Just can be used my best decryption. Got something real quick. There we go. All right. Oh. Ah!
Got some burned out buildings here, Shepard. A lot of bodies. I'm gonna check it out.
Kinetic barriers, more commonly called shields, provide protection against most mass accelerator weapons. Whether on a starship or a soldier's suit of armor, the basic principle remains the same. Kinetic barriers are repulsive mass effect fields, projected from tiny emitters. These shields safely deflect small objects traveling at rapid velocities. This affords protection from bullets and other dangerous projectiles, but still allows the user to sit down without knocking away their chair. The shielding afforded by kinetic barriers does not protect against extremes of temperature, toxins, or radiation.
Okay. I'll try to catch up with you at the dig site.
thought she looked familiar. She's one of the crew. Don't worry, she'll make it. She'll make it. Nice shot. Oh, right. Forgot about that.
Gunnery Chief Ashley Williams of the 212. You the one in charge here, ma'am?
Give me a status report, Williams.
Oh, man. We were patrolling the perimeter when the attack hit. We tried to get off a distress call, but they cut off our communications. I've been fighting for my life ever since.
Where's the rest of your squad?
We tried to double back to the beacon, but we walked into an ambush. I don't think any of the others... I think I'm the only one left.
This isn't your fault, Williams. You couldn't have done anything to save them.
Yes, ma'am. We held our position as long as we could, until the Geth overwhelmed us.
The Geth haven't been seen outside the Veil in nearly 200 years. Why are they here now?
They must have come for the beacon. The dig site is close, just over that rise. It might still be there.
We could use your help, Williams.
Aye, aye, ma'am. It's time for payback.
What else do you know about the Geth?
From history class back in school. They're synthetics, non-organic life forms with limited AI programming, created by the Quarians a few centuries ago. They were supposed to be a source of cheap labor, but ended up turning on the Quarians and drove them into exile. Well, after that, they just kind of disappeared behind the Perseus Veil. Nobody's really heard much from them since.
Describe what happened leading up to the attack.
We were sent out a couple of nights ago from the main colony to secure the area. Seemed like a routine patrol, until the Geth hit us. We never knew they were coming.
What happened to the researchers at the dig site?
I don't know. They set up camp near the beacon. The 232 was with them. Maybe their unit fared better than mine.
Tell me everything you know about the beacon.
They were doing some digging out here to extend the monorail and expand the colony. A few weeks ago, they unearthed some Prothean ruins, and the beacon. Suddenly, every scientific expert in the colony was interested. That's when they brought us in to secure the site. I don't know much about the beacon itself, but I heard one of the researchers say this could be the biggest scientific discovery of the century.
Have you seen a Turian Spectre around here?
There aren't any Turians on Eden Prime, none that I've ever met. Not sure I'd be able to tell if one was a Spectre anyway.
If you saw this guy, you'd know. Carries enough firepower to wipe out a whole platoon. Luckily, he's on our side.
Sorry. Like I said, no Turians.
Move out!
Oh, that was aggressive. Drop one in there, and...
The Geth are a humanoid race of networked AIs. They were created by the Quarians 300 years ago as tools of labor and war. When the Geth showed signs of self-evolution, the Quarians attempted to exterminate them. The Geth won the resulting war. This example has led to legal, systematic repression of artificial intelligences in galactic society. The Geth possess a unique distributed intelligence. An individual has rudimentary animal instincts, but as their numbers and proximity increase, the apparent intelligence of each individual improves. In groups, they can reason, analyze situations, and use tactics, as well as any organic race. Geth space is located at the trailing end of the Perseus Arm, beyond the lawless Terminus systems. The Perseus Veil, an obscuring dark nebula of opaque gas and dust, lies between their space and the Terminus systems.
The beacon's at the far end of this trench.
Ooh, what do we get? Alright, so that's better in every way. Okay. Did they just shoot me? Level up. Whoa, 6 points. All right, so we'll definitely do 1 in intimidate, 1 in charm. Let's add 1 to first aid. All right, and now we got 3 left. Let's put. So give him the barrier. And let's go and unlock electronics for him too. And
Combat hard suits use a dual-layer system to protect the wearer. The inner layer consists of fabric armor with kinetic padding. Areas that don't need to be flexible, such as the chest or shins, are reinforced with sheets of lightweight, ablative ceramic. The outer layer consists of automatically generated kinetic barriers. Objects traveling above a certain speed will trigger the barrier's reflex system and be deflected, provided there is enough energy left in the shield's power cell. Armored hard suits are sealable to protect the wearer from extremes of temperature and atmosphere. Standard equipment includes an onboard mini-frame and a communications, navigation, and sensing suite. The mini-frame is designed to accept and display data from a weapon's smart targeting system to make it easier to locate and eliminate enemies.
This is the dig site. The beacon was right here. It must have been moved.
By who? Our side or the Geth?
Hard to say. Maybe we'll know more after we check out the research camp.
Let's get moving. Williams, where's the camp?
It's just on the top of this ridge, up the ramps.
Change of plans, Shepard. There's a small spaceport up ahead. I want to check it out. I'll wait for you there.
Alright, so where are we going? Oh, up the hill.
Looks like they hit the camp hard.
It's a good place for an ambush. Keep your guard up.
Yeah. Yeah, watch out for those guys on the spikes. How about that? Oh, here we go.
Oh god, they're still alive.
What did the Geth do to them?
Humans. Thank the Maker.
Did she just say humans?
Close the door before they come back.
How did you end up in this shed?
We hid here during the attack. They must have come here for the beacon. Luckily, it wasn't here. It was moved to the spaceport earlier this morning. Manuel and I stayed behind to pack up the camp. When the attack came, the Marines held them off long enough for us to hide. They gave their lives to save us.
No one is saved. The age of humanity is ended. Soon, only ruin and corpses will remain.
What's wrong with your assistant?
Manuel has a brilliant mind, but he's always been a bit unstable. Genius and madness are two sides of the same coin.
See the future? To see the destruction rushing towards us? To understand there is no escape? No hope? No. I am not mad. I'm the only sane one left.
I gave him an extra dose of his meds after the attack.
What else can you tell me about the attack?
It all happened so fast. 1 second we were gathering up our equipment. The next we were hiding in the shed while the Geth swarmed over the camp.
Agents of the destroyers. Bringers of darkness. Heralds of our extinction.
We could hear the battle outside. Gunfire, screams. I thought it would never end. Then everything went quiet. We just sat there, too afraid to move, until you came along.
Can you tell me anything about the beacon?
It's some type of data module from a galaxy-wide communications network, remarkably well preserved. It could be the greatest scientific discovery of our lifetime. Miraculous new technologies, groundbreaking medical advances. Who knows what secrets are locked inside?
We have unearthed the heart of evil, awakened the beast, unleashed the darkness.
Manuel, please.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Did you notice a Turian in the area?
I saw him, the Prophet, leader of the enemy. He was here before the attack. That's impossible. Nihilus was with us in the Normandy before the attack. He couldn't have been here.
I'm sorry. Manuel's still a bit unsettled. We haven't seen your Turian. We've been hiding in here since the attack.
Williams, take us to the spaceport.
You can't stop it. Nobody can stop it. Night is falling. The darkness of eternity.
Hush, Manuel. Go lie down. You'll feel better once the medication kicks in.
I think I got some equipment I forgot to check out. Oh yeah. Accuracy's down. Heatsink capacity's up. And damage. Okay.
After the Geth secure a location, they round up and impale dead and living bodies on mechanical spikes. The spikes rapidly transform these victims into withered husks, extracting water and trace minerals, and replacing them with cybernetics. The cybernetics reanimate the lifeless flesh and tissue, transforming the bodies into mindless killing machines. Some Alliance soldiers refer to the husk-generating spikes as dragon's teeth, a reference to the mythological berserkers who sprang up from the earth wherever the teeth of the dragon Eris were planted. Dragon's teeth and husks bear little resemblance to other pieces of Geth technology. No one is sure why a synthetic race would bother to drain the minuscule amount of recoverable resources from organic corpses, though the value of reusing them as shock troops is obvious.
Saren.
Nihilus.
Oh, right.
This isn't your mission, Saren. What are you doing here?
The Council thought you could use some help on this one.
I wasn't expecting to find the Geth here. The situation's bad.
Don't worry. I've got it under control.
Ah, I forgot about that. I was thinking Nihilus betrayed us.
Look at the size of it.
Ooh.
Commander, it's not.
Something's moving over behind those crates.
Wait! Don't shoot! I'm one of you! I'm human!
Sneaking up on us like that nearly got you killed.
I'm sorry, I was hiding from those creatures. My name's Powell. I saw what happened to that Turian. The other one shot him.
What the hell are you talking about?
There were two Turians here. Your friend and another one he called Saren. I think they knew each other. Your friend seemed to relax. He let his guard down. Then Saren killed him. Shot him right in the back. I'm just lucky he didn't see me behind the crates.
We were told a Prothean beacon was brought to the spaceport. What happened to it?
It's over on the other platform. Probably where that guy Saren was headed. He hopped on the cargo train right after he killed your friend. I knew that beacon was trouble. Everything's gone to hell since we found it. First that damn mothership showed up, then the attack. They killed everyone. Everyone. If I hadn't been behind the crates, I'd be dead too.
How come you're the only one who survived? Why didn't anyone else try to hide behind the crates?
They never had a chance. I was already behind the crates when the attack started.
Wait a minute. You were hiding behind the crates before the attack?
Sometimes I need a nap to get through my shift. I sneak off behind the crates to grab 40 winks where the supervisor can't find me.
You survived because you're lazy?
If you hadn't snuck off for that nap, you'd probably be dead just like all the others.
Yeah, I guess. I don't really want to think about it.
Is there anything else you can tell me about the beacon?
They brought it here this morning. We loaded it up onto the train and shipped it to the other platform. Hard to believe that was only a few hours ago. Feels like a whole other life.
Tell me about this mothership you saw.
I've never seen anything like it before. It was huge. Landed over near that platform. The whole place got dark as it came down. And it was making this noise, this sound that bored right into your brain. That's what woke me up. The attack came a few minutes later.
Tell me about the Geth attack.
It was quick. 1 minute that ship was descending, the next, those Geth were swarming over the platform, thousands of them. They must have been inside that mothership. They shot anything that moved. It was a massacre.
We need to find that beacon before it's too late.
Take the cargo train. That's where the other Turian went. I can't stay here. I need to get away from all this.
How do I use... What was the med kit again? Shit. What was... Why? Yeah, okay. Oh, I see somebody on the... Ah! No! Ah! Gotta use the controls again. Whoa. Oh, he's already gone. Okay. Where are they shooting at? There is somebody down there. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. It's mapped. How do I... Okay, I'll figure it out in a second.
Set the charges. Destroy the entire colony. Leave no evidence that we were here.
Demolition charges. The Geth must have planted them.
Hurry! We need to find them all and shut them down.
Didn't realize it was a time mission. Come on. Oh, are we taking back on the same train? That must be what we're doing. Now that we turned off the bombs. No? What are we doing here, y'all? Oh, there's an enemy still here. Ah, here we go. Okay. The beacon.
Normandy, the beacon is secure.
This is amazing. Actual working Prothean technology. Unbelievable.
Doing anything to look it up.
Something must have activated it.
Roger, Normandy. Standing by.
No, don't touch it. It's too hot.
Oof. That reminds me of Event Horizon. Some of the scenes in there. Got an achievement.
We identified the ship that touched down on Eden Prime. The Normandy, a human alliance vessel. It was under the command of Captain Anderson. They managed to save the colony.
And the beacon.
One of the humans may have used it.
This human must be eliminated.
Well, there we go.
Doctor? Dr. Chakwas. I think she's waking up.
Actually, I'll be right back.
like the morning after shore leave. How long was I out?
About 15 hours. Something happened down there with the beacon, I think.
It's my fault. I must have triggered some kind of security field when I approached it. You had to push me out of the way.
You had no way to know what would happen.
Actually, we don't even know if that's what set it off. Unfortunately, we'll never get the chance to find out.
The beacon exploded. A system overload, maybe. And the blast knocked you cold. Williams and I had to carry you back here to the ship.
I don't suppose it occurred to you that Eden Prime has medical facilities.
Listen, you're better off in this infirmary than in any hospital on Eden Prime. Physically, you're fine. But I detected some unusual brain activity. Abnormal beta waves. I also noticed an increase in your rapid eye movement. Signs typically associated with intense dreaming.
I saw... I'm not sure what I saw. Death, destruction... Nothing's really clear.
I better add this to my report. It may... Oh, Captain Anderson.
How's our XO holding up, Doctor?
Well, all the readings look normal. I'd say the commander's going to be fine.
Glad to hear it. Shepard, I need to speak with you. In private.
Aye, aye, Captain. I'll be in the mess if you need me.
Sounds like that beacon hit you pretty hard, Commander. Are you sure you're okay?
Did we leave Gunnery Chief Williams back on Eden Prime?
I figured we could use a soldier like her. She's been reassigned to the Normandy.
Williams is a good soldier. She deserves it.
Lieutenant Alenko agrees with you. That's why I added her to our crew.
Intel dropped the ball, sir. We had no idea what we were walking into down there. That's why things went to hell.
The Geth haven't been outside the Veil in 2 centuries, Commander. Nobody could have predicted this.
You said you needed to see me in private, Captain?
I won't lie to you, Shepard. Things look bad. Nihilus is dead. The beacon was destroyed and Geth are invading. The Council's going to want answers.
The Council can kiss my ass. I won't let them blame me for losing the beacon. I didn't do anything wrong.
I'll stand behind you and your report, Shepard. You're a damned hero in my books. That's not why I'm here. It's Saren, that other Turian. Saren's a Spectre, one of the best, a living legend. But if he's working with the Geth, it means he's gone rogue. A rogue Spectre's trouble. Saren's dangerous, and he hates humans.
Why?
He thinks we're growing too fast, taking over the galaxy. A lot of aliens think that.
We do have a tendency to do that.
Most of them don't do anything about it. But Saren has allied himself with the Geth. I don't know how, I don't know why. I only know it had something to do with that beacon. You were there just before that beacon self-destructed. Did you see anything? Any clue that might tell us what Saren was after?
Just before I lost consciousness, I had some kind of vision.
A vision? A vision of what?
I saw synthetics. Geth, maybe. Slaughtering people. Butchering them.
We need to report this to the Council, Shepard.
What are we gonna tell them? I had a bad dream?
We don't know what information was stored in that beacon. Lost Prothean technology? Blueprints for some ancient weapon of mass destruction? Whatever it was. Saren took it. But I know Saren. I know his reputation is politics. He believes humans are a blight on the galaxy. This attack was an act of war. He has the secrets from the beacon. He has an army of Geth at his command, and he won't stop until he's wiped humanity from the face of the galaxy.
I'll find some way to take him down.
It's not that easy. He's a Spectre. He can go anywhere, do almost anything. That's why we need the Council on our side.
We prove Saren's gone rogue and the Council will revoke his Spectre status.
I'll contact the Ambassador and see if he can get us an audience with the Council. He'll want to see us as soon as we reach the Citadel. We should be getting close. Head up to the bridge and tell Joker to bring us into dock.
Alright. Let's check the ship out, see if we got anything cool going on here.
Glad to see... Commander, I'm glad to see you're okay. Losing Jenkins was hard on the crew, and I'm glad we didn't lose you too.
Things were pretty rough down there.
Yeah, you never get used to seeing dead civilians. Doesn't seem right somehow. But at least you stopped Saren from wiping out the whole colony.
Dead Marines, dead colonists, and in the end, we still didn't get that beacon.
Maybe you're right. Things went bad. Real bad. I still can't believe we lost Jenkins.
Yeah, I wish I could have done something to save him.
I was there. You did everything right. It was just bad luck. It's been a hell of a shakedown, Cruz. Our first mission ends with one Spectre killing another. The Citadel Council's not going to be happy about that. Probably use it to lever more concessions out of the Alliance.
You've got a good grasp of the situation. You a career man?
Yeah, a lot of biotics are. We're not restricted, but we sure don't go undocumented. May as well get a paycheck for it. Besides, my father served. I made him proud when I enlisted. Eventually. But is that why you're here? Because of your family?
I never met my parents. If they wanted to see me, they'd have contacted me after that mess a few years back.
Oh, that's right, a cruise. I imagine that bought you any post in the fleet. Word is we're heading for the Citadel, ma'am. Can you, tell me why?
If the captain thought you needed to know, he'd tell you.
Yes, ma'am. Sorry. Whatever happens, we'll be ready, Commander.
Yes, Commander? Is there something you need?
How well do you know the lieutenant?
I'd never worked with him before this mission. But he has an impressive service record. Over a dozen special commendations. Tends to keep to himself, though. Maybe because of the headaches. It's not easy being an L2.
What does that have to do with it?
Well, most biotics now use the L3 implants. Lieutenant Alenko was wired with the old L2 configuration. Sometimes there are complications.
What kind of complications?
Severe mental disabilities, insanity, crippling physical pain. There's a long list of horrific side effects. Caden's lucky. He just gets migraines.
What do you know about Captain Anderson?
I've served with him for a few tours now. He knows when to let things slide and when to crack the whip. The crew knows he's seen pretty much anything they'll ever run into. And he cares about the people under his command.
How did you end up serving on an Alliance ship?
I enlisted right out of med school. Earth always seemed boring to me. Too safe, too secure. I figured the colonies were teeming with exotic adventure. I wanted to travel the stars, tending the wounds of tough soldiers with piercing eyes and sensitive souls. Turns out military life isn't quite as romantic as I'd imagined. But humanity needs the Alliance if we want to keep expanding through the Traverse, and the Alliance always needs good doctors. So I stayed on to do my part.
Ever think you made the wrong choice?
Sometimes I think about opening a private practice back on Earth. Or maybe taking a position at one of the new med centers out in the colonies. But there's something special about working on soldiers. If I left the Alliance now, I'd feel like I was abandoning them.
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander.
I'm glad you're okay, Commander. The crew could use some good news after what happened to Jenkins.
Jenkins was a valuable part of this crew.
Part of me feels guilty over what happened. If Jenkins was still alive, I might not be here.
You're a good soldier, Williams. You belong on the Normandy.
Thanks, Commander. I appreciate that.
Things were pretty rough down there. Are you okay?
I've seen friends die before. Comes with being a Marine. But to see my whole unit wiped out, and you never get used to seeing dead civilians. but things would have been a lot worse if you hadn't shown up.
Dead Marines, dead colonists. And in the end, we still didn't get that beacon.
You saved a lot of lives,
Same as what she said to Kate.
It might be hard to keep that in perspective with what happened to Jenkins.
I need to go speak with Joker.
Goodbye, Commander.
So I'm not intentionally playing towards Renegade or Paragon.
Go speak to Joker when you're ready. Tell him to bring the Normandy into dock.
I think I'm kind of gonna have Shepard very empathetic towards her crew, very understanding towards her crew for the most part. But then when it comes to anyone outside the crew, much more of a hard ass. And we'll kind of see where that
Glad
takes.
you're okay, Commander. Losing
Where that
Jenkins
takes her in terms of Renegade and Paragon. Is that just the stairs again? Yeah. It was there. Nope.
Good timing, Commander. I was just about to bring us into the Citadel. See that taxpayer money at work.
Flagship of the Citadel fleet.
Well, size isn't everything.
Why so touchy, Joker?
I'm just saying you need firepower too.
Look at that monster.
I'm pretty sure she's got
through
it.
the barriers in any ship in the Alliance fleet.
Good thing it's on our side then.
Citadel Control, this is SSV Normandy, requesting permission to land.
Stand by for clearance, Normandy. Clearance granted. You may begin your approach. Transferring you to an Alliance operator.
Roger, Alliance Tower. Normandy out.
Normandy, this is Alliance Tower. Please proceed to Dock 422.
This is an outrage! The Council would step in if the Geth attacked a Turian colony?
The Turians don't found colonies on the borders of the Terminus systems, Ambassador.
Humanity was well aware of the risks when you went into the Traverse.
What about Saren? You can't just ignore a rogue Spectre. I demand action!
You don't get to make demands of the Council, Ambassador.
Citadel Security is investigating your charges against Saren. We will discuss the CSEC findings at the hearing, not before.
Captain Anderson, I see you brought half your crew with you.
Just the ground team from Eden Prime, in case you had any questions.
I have the mission reports. I assume they're accurate?
They are. Sounds like you convinced the Council to give us an audience.
They were not happy about it. Saren's their top agent. They don't like him being accused of treason.
I'm not gonna sit on my ass just because the Council doesn't want to do anything. If they won't stop Saren, I will.
Settle down, Commander. You've already done more than enough to jeopardize your candidacy for the Spectres. The mission on Eden Prime was a chance to prove you could get the job done. Instead, Nihilus ended up dead and the beacon was destroyed.
That's Saren's fault, not hers.
Then we better hope the CSEC investigation turns up evidence to support our accusations. Otherwise, the Council might use this as an excuse to keep you out of the Spectres. Come with me, Captain. I want to go over a few things before the hearing.
Come with me,
Shepard,
Captain.
You and the others can meet us at the Citadel Tower, top level. I'll make sure you have clearance to get in.
And that's why I hate politicians.
The Citadel is an ancient deep space station, presumably constructed by the Protheans. Since the Prothean extinction, numerous species have come to call the Citadel home. It serves as the political, cultural, and financial capital of the galactic community. To represent their interests, most species maintain embassies on the Presidium, the Citadel's inner ring. The Citadel Tower in the center of the Presidium holds the Citadel Council chambers. Council affairs often have far-reaching effects on the rest of the galactic community. 5 arms, known as the Wards, extend from the Presidium. Their inner surfaces have been built into cities, populated by millions of inhabitants from across the galaxy. The Citadel is virtually indestructible. If attacked, the station can close its arms to form a solid, impregnable shell. For as long as the station has existed, an enigmatic race called the Keepers has maintained it. The Council is an executive committee composed of representatives from the Asari Republics, the Turian Hierarchy, and the Solarian Union.
I
Though
forgot
they
about
have
the
no
Solarians.
official power over the independent governments of other species, the Council's decisions carry great weight throughout the galaxy. No single Council race is strong enough to defy the other two, and all have a vested interest in compromise and cooperation. Each of the Council species has general characteristics associated with the various aspects of governing the galaxy. The Asari are typically seen as diplomats and mediators. The Solarians gather intelligence and information. The Turians provide the bulk of the military and peacekeeping forces. Any species granted an embassy on the Citadel is considered an associate member, bound by the accords of the Citadel Conventions. Associate members may bring issues to the attention of the Council, though they have no input on the decision. The Human Systems Alliance became an associate member of the Citadel in 2165. Biotics is the ability of rare individuals to manipulate dark energy and create mass effect fields through the use of electrical impulses from the brain. Intense training and surgically implanted amplifiers are necessary for a biotic to produce mass effect fields powerful enough for practical use. The relative strength of biotic abilities varies greatly among species and with each individual. There are 3 branches of biotics. Telekinesis uses mass-lowering fields to levitate or impel objects. Mass-raising kinetic fields are used to block or pin objects. Spatial distortion uses rapidly shifting mass fields to shred objects. Most organic species are capable of developing biotic abilities, though there are risks involved. Biotics are the result of an in utero exposure to element 0. This usually causes fatal cancers in the victim, but in rare cases, it coalesces into nodules within the fetus's developing nervous system.
Not gonna worry about the secondary stuff. All right. Oh. Map there. Oh, okay. So, is that us? No, that's us. That's us. That's us. Okay.
Whoa. Hello there, human. Sincere apology, but I am here on business and cannot be distracted right now.
You seem distressed. Is there something I can do to help?
Alarmed response. You overheard that, did you? This is all going so wrong, and it is the Asari Consort's fault. She's the one who started all this.
Who's this Asari Consort?
Curious, you have not heard. You must be new to the Citadel. Everyone knows Sha'ira, the consort. I cannot speak more about this problem. It is too sensitive. Suffice it to say, she has compromised my authority as a diplomat.
Where can I find this Asari Consort?
She is across the bridge from here. Her offices are easy enough to spot. Good day, human.
Pleased greeting. Human, it is always good to see your kind. I am Ambassador Kalen. Genuine query. Is there something I can do for you this day?
Why do you explain what you're about to say?
Our people communicate less through words and more through scent and slight movements. Plainly, we discovered our vocal expression was not enough to convey the feelings of our conversations to other species.
Why do you bother, Kalen? These Earth Clan don't really care about our ways.
Remorseful response, Din. You don't truly believe that, and if you do, I am very sorry for you.
Tell me more about your species.
Genuine enthusiasm. I delight in telling the history of my people. It is agreeable to share our culture with others.
Tell me about the history and origins of the Elcor.
The Elcor were just beginning to explore Council space when the Asari first made contact with us. With their help, we discovered the relay closest to our system, and from there the Citadel. Proudly, within one lifetime we established a regular route to the Citadel, and quickly became one of the more active species living on this great station.
I'd like to know more about the culture of the Elcor.
Frankly, we Elcor prefer the safety and familiarity of our own colonies to the confines of space travel. Our society is built on small, tight-knit groups. Though we are always welcoming to outsiders, our government tends to be very stable. Our people are not very comfortable with sudden changes.
What do you do here?
Modestly, I work to bring the problems and the requests of the Elcor groups to the attention of the Council.
Ha! They only give us these positions to keep us quiet. The Council doesn't care about our races.
Chastising rebuke. Your tone is inappropriate, Din. This human is not to blame for your malcontent or your misconceived suspicions.
Goodbye, Ambassador.
Sincere farewell. Good day to you, human. Enjoy your time on the Citadel.
Oh wait, what's over here? Nope, locked. Alright.
Welcome to the Presidium. Allow me to be your guide. Greetings and welcome to the Presidium. My name is Avina.
What's up,
and I'm
Cordon?
pleased to be your virtual guide throughout this level of the Citadel space station.
What does that mean?
I am a fully interactive virtual intelligence, programmed to provide spontaneous guidance at predetermined locations of interest throughout this level of the Citadel. I may also be contacted through any of the Presidium VI terminals, should you require assistance.
Give me the tour.
You are standing at Presidium Tourism Terminal 1. On either side of this lobby are the embassies of the various Citadel races, along with CSEC headquarters. On the far end of this level, you can see the Citadel Tower, where the Council meets regularly to discuss matters of interstellar importance.
I want to know more about Citadel Security.
Citadel Security serves as law enforcement for all regions of the Citadel, though the majority of officers serve in the wards. Executor Palin, a Turian, is the current head of CSEC, but individuals from virtually every species across Citadel space serve as officers beneath him. If you wish to learn more, Executor Palin's office is located in the CSEC headquarters just across the lobby.
Tell me about the embassies.
Each species in Citadel space important enough to be consulted on matters of galactic politics maintains an embassy on the Presidium. The Volus were the first non-council species to be granted an embassy, roughly 2,384 galactic standard years ago. As Citadel space has expanded, more embassies have been added. The most recently added embassy belongs to your own species, humanity. It was added 19 galactic standard years ago, despite some rather vocal opposition.
Why were people trying to keep my species out?
Some species felt humanity was given preferential treatment. It often takes a century or more before a new species is granted an embassy. The Council gave a great deal of thought to this matter. In the end, they decided humanity's impact on Citadel space was significant enough to warrant an embassy.
How come the Volus were the first species given an embassy?
In the early years following the formation of the Council, the Volus were, apart from the Asari and Salarians, the most populous and widespread species in Citadel space. They established many new colonies and trading outposts, and they petitioned the Council for a greater role in determining interstellar policy. In recognition of their work to expand interstellar trade and establish a standardized galactic economy, the Volus were granted an embassy here on the Citadel.
Why weren't they made a council race?
The council races have extensive responsibilities. They must provide personnel and ships for the Citadel fleets. They often provide economic aid in times of disaster. It would be unfair to demand such an enormous burden of a species unable to meet these obligations. The embassies allow lesser species to have a voice on the Citadel.
That's pretty damn arrogant.
I apologize if my personality has offended you. Please submit all formal complaints in writing to the Citadel Tourist and Visitor Board.
Do you know anything about specters?
The term Spectre is derived from the branch of Special Tactics and Reconnaissance. Each Spectre agent is handpicked by the Council. Their primary role is preserving galactic stability and resolving volatile situations that cannot be handled through normal political channels. In this role, they are granted extraterritorial rights and jurisdictions. Spectres answer to no law or authority except the Council itself.
What can you tell me about the Citadel Council?
Originally, the Council consisted of representatives from the Asari and Salarians, the two dominant species in Citadel space. Roughly 1,304 galactic standard years ago, Turians were invited to join the Council in recognition of the role they played during the Krogan Rebellion. Since then, the three council races have worked together to ensure the peaceful coexistence of the galactic community, while preserving individual autonomy for each species.
It can't be as simple as that. There must be problems somewhere in the system.
I am not programmed to make that kind of qualified judgment. My code is limited to information and simple interaction simulations.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, and thank
Yeah, what
you
the
for using Avina.
Turians
Please
did in the
enjoy your
Krogan
visit to
Rebellion
the
is pretty
Citadel.
horrific. We'll get to that at some point, I'm sure.
Good day, Commander. The human ambassador is up the stairs, first room on the right.
You know who I am?
Yes, I receive reports on all newly arrived dignitaries and notable people.
What's your name? What do you do here?
My name is Saphiria. I'm the administrative assistant for the embassies.
You seem to be distracted.
The embassies are the hub of all Citadel politics. When you represent trillions of citizens, it tends to get a little busy.
What is this place?
This is the Presidium. More specifically, you are at the Citadel embassies. If you have more questions, please access Avina.
I should be going now.
Have a pleasant day.
I can't believe I landed a job here. This place is fantastic.
Human, delighted, welcome. It is good to meet you.
I just want to finish exploring out here real quick before I go anywhere else. Oh. I'm supposed to go to the embassy, right? That is... for sure that's what we're doing right now. Go to the Citadel Tower on Presidium. Oh, okay. I gotta go to that elevator. Oh, no, this. Oh, okay. That's right. I forgot about that. That's ominous music.
Saren's hiding something.
Garrus!
Give me more time.
Love this guy.
Stall the council. Don't be ridiculous. Your investigation is over, Garrus.
Commander Shepard, Garrus Vicarian. I was the officer in charge of the CSEC investigation into Saren.
Who were you just talking to?
That was Executor Palin, head of Citadel Security, my boss. He'll be presenting my findings on Saren to the Council.
Come across anything I should know about?
Saren's a Spectre. Most of his activities are classified. I couldn't find anything solid. But I know he's up to something. Like you humans say, I feel it in my gut.
I think the Council's ready for us, Commander.
Good luck, Shepard. Maybe they'll listen to you.
I love that guy. He's such a badass. Just want to make sure there's nobody out here I can talk to. There's so much space. I don't think so. Let's head up the stairs.
The hearing's already started. Come on.
What? Well...
The Geth attack is a matter of some concern, but there is nothing to indicate Saren was involved in any way.
The investigation by Citadel Security turned up no evidence to support your charge of treason.
An eyewitness saw him kill Nihilus in cold blood.
We've read the Eden Prime reports, Ambassador. The testimony of one traumatized dock worker is hardly compelling proof.
I resent these accusations. Nihilus was a fellow Spectre and a friend.
That just let you catch him off guard.
Captain Anderson. You always seem to be involved when humanity makes false charges against me. And this must be your protege, Commander Shepard. The one who let the beacon get destroyed.
The mission to Eden Prime was top secret. The only way you could know about the beacon was if you were there.
With Nihilus gone, his files passed on to me. I read the Eden Prime report. I was unimpressed. But what can you expect from a human?
You can expect me to kill you the next time we meet.
Your species needs to learn its place, Shepard. You're not ready to join the Council. You're not even ready to join the Spectres.
He has no right to say that. That's not his decision.
Shepard's admission into the Spectres is not the purpose of this meeting.
This meeting has no purpose. The humans are wasting your time, Counselor, and mine.
You can't hide behind the Council forever.
There is still one outstanding issue. Commander Shepard's vision. It may have been triggered by the beacon.
Are we allowing dreams into evidence now? How can I defend my innocence against this kind of testimony?
I agree. Our judgment must be based on facts and evidence, not wild imaginings and reckless speculation.
Do you have anything else to add, Commander Shepard?
You've made your decision. I won't waste my breath.
The Council has found no evidence of any connection between Saren and the Geth. Ambassador, your petition to have him disbarred from the Spectres is denied.
I'm glad to see justice was served.
This meeting is adjourned.
It was a mistake bringing you into that hearing, Captain. You and Saren have too much history. It made the Council question our motives.
I know Saren. He's working with the Geth for one reason. To exterminate the entire human race. Every colony we have is at risk. Every world we control is in danger. Even Earth isn't safe.
Tell me about this history between you and Saren.
I worked with him on a mission a long time ago. Things went bad. Real bad. We shouldn't talk about this here. But I know what he's like. And he has to be stopped.
What's our next step?
As a Spectre, he's virtually untouchable. We need to find some way to expose him.
What about Garrus, that CSEC investigator? We saw him arguing with the Executor.
That's right. He was asking for more time to finish his report. Seems like he was close to finding something on Saren.
Any idea where we could find him?
I have a contact in CSEC who can help us track Garrus down. His name is Harkin.
Forget it. They suspended Harkin last month, drinking on the job. I won't waste my time with that loser.
You won't have to. I don't want the Council using your past history with Saren as an excuse to ignore anything we turn up. Shepard will handle this.
You can't just cut Captain Anderson out of this investigation.
The Ambassador's right. I need to step aside.
I need to take care of some business. Captain, meet me in my office later.
I can't figure out who the ambassador's voice is.
It's a dingy little club in the lower section of the wards.
Maybe there's another way to find evidence against Saren.
You should talk to Barla Vaughn over in the financial district. Rumor has it he's an agent for the Shadow Broker.
The Shadow Broker?
An information dealer. Buys and sells secrets to the highest bidder. I've heard Barla Vaughn's one of the top representatives. He might know something about Saren, but his information won't come cheap.
You and Saren have a history. What happened?
About 20 years ago, I was part of a mission in the Skillian Verge. I was working with Saren to find and remove a known terrorist threat. Saren eliminated his target, but a lot of people died along the way, innocent people. And the official records just covered it all up. But I saw how he operates. No conscience, no hesitation. He'd kill 1,000 innocent civilians to end a war without a second thought.
Killing innocents doesn't end wars. It causes them.
I know how the world works, Commander. Sometimes you're forced to make unpleasant decisions, but only if there's no other way. Saren doesn't even look for another option. He's twisted, broken. He likes the violence, the killing. And he knows how to cover his tracks.
Our ambassador doesn't seem to get along with the Council.
He's just frustrated. The Council's always preaching that we need to be part of the galactic community. But for them, it's a one-way street. They want us to expand and settle unstable regions like the Skillian Verge and the Attican Traverse. But when we run into trouble, they don't want to help us out. Everyone knows it's only a matter of time until we get a seat on the Council. The ambassador just thinks it should happen sooner rather than later. And I agree.
Who cares if we get a seat on the Council? What's the big deal?
If the Council passes a ruling on an interstellar matter, we have to follow it. We don't have the fleets or political allies to defy them. Once we get a seat on the Council, we'll be able to influence those rulings, protect our own interests. No more jumping through hoops whenever we want something. Take this mess we're in now. If humanity had a seat on the Council, we'd just send the Citadel fleet out to take care of Saren and his Geth. Problem solved.
You don't think much of Harkin.
The guy joined CSEC about 20 years ago. He's been an embarrassment to our species ever since. Roughing up suspects in custody, bribery accusations, alcohol and drug use. The embassy used to step in when he got in trouble. But I guess enough was enough.
Guy's a scumbag. He should have been cut loose a long time ago.
He was one of the first human CSEC officers. Guess it would have looked bad if he got fired. A lot of backroom deals were worked out over the years to keep him on the force. Politics is a dirty business sometimes, but it looks like his time's run out. We've got enough humans in CSEC now to stop protecting him.
I want to know more about the Spectres.
They're not your typical government agency. They tend to work alone, behind the scenes. They take care of problems the Council can't. It's not easy preserving peace across an entire galaxy. The Council prefers to use diplomacy and negotiation. But sometimes more extreme measures are needed.
What's their command structure like?
There is no command structure. Each Spectre answers directly to the Council. Sometimes they're sent on specific missions. Other times, they act on their own. They tend to operate outside the law, do whatever it takes to accomplish their goals. The Council just turns a blind eye. Spectres have a lot of power, Shepard.
How do they decide who becomes a Spectre?
You can't just apply to join. There's no training program. Spectres aren't made. They're born. The Council's always looking for exceptional individuals. People who can get the job done, like you. They've been watching you for years. They see something in you. They want you on their side. Nihilus was supposed to give them a final recommendation, but with him gone, things are still up in the air.
What happens when a Spectre goes rogue, like Saren?
It doesn't happen often. The Council is careful when they select their candidates. But when something does go wrong, there's usually only one solution. Send another Spectre to bring the rogue agent down.
They sound like shadow operatives.
Everything about them is classified. We don't even know how many there are. The latest Alliance estimate puts their numbers under 100. But the Council couldn't do its job without them. They're the Citadel's top agents, the last line of defense, the final option before open war. The entire galaxy respects and fears them. If a Spectre shows up, you know something big is about to happen.
Tell me more about the Shadow Broker.
He's a necessary evil of galactic politics. Buying and selling information is a part of the game. And the Shadow Broker just happens to be the best player on the field. Always sells to the highest bidder. Doesn't get involved in politics, doesn't pick sides. A simple system, but it works. He's not a threat to anyone, not directly. He's just a resource we can use, or she is. Or maybe they are. Nobody really knows.
Tell me about Barla Vaughn.
He specializes in moving large sums of money without leaving a paper trail. A financial genius, doesn't do anything illegal, but he knows all the loopholes. He's got an impressive client list. Ambassadors, diplomats, Spectres. That's probably why the Shadow Broker uses him.
I should go.
Good luck, Shepard. I'll be over in the Ambassador's office if you need anything else.
Be right back. Alright, let's play a little bit more of this. Kids are about to wake up. Gonna have to stop when they get up. Let's see. What are we doing? What are we doing? Journal. So we go to the Shadow Broker. Speak to Harkin. Alright. Oh, no, that's not what I'm gonna do. I'm so used to that pulling up like my objectives or whatever. Alright, so let's get out of here. Head back downstairs. So, let's see. That's, okay, Harkin right there. That's where we want to go.
That's her.
Whoa.
perimeter secured.
That's very Xbox 360. The bodies are just gone. What if they're not dead? Oh, I forgot. I forgot where this place was. Alright. Let's see.
I got business here, but not with you.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
I'll get to you when I can.
Okay.
Not now. Go away. I'm not interested in talking.
Yeah, I guess.
Back off, Rex. Fisk told us to take you down if you shoot.
Rex!
What are you waiting for? I'm standing right here.
Yeah, he
This
is.
Fisk's only chance. If he's smart, he'll take it. He's not coming out, Rex. End of story. This story is just beginning. Out of my way, humans. I have no quarrel with you.
What was that all about?
Who knows? Let's just try not to get caught in the middle.
Ooh, level up. Let's do it. Alright, so be right back. I got this thing. Hold on. There's this broadcast bar that I see when I'm streaming, and it always, like, I'm trying to find the right spot to put it, and it always seems like it gets in the way. Alright, so I got 6 points. I couldn't see that before because of where it was. 6 points. What do we want to do? Well, okay, so charm, intimidate, and set it on, and 3 more. Okay. Well, let's get electronics up and running. And advanced sabotage, okay. Good there. Alright, then we got 4 here. Give him electronics. And then okay, sabotage. Pop that up 1. And he's been taking a lot of damage for some reason, so let's try to help him with the barrier. Alright, get rid of that. Increase his pistol damage, good. And let's open up shotguns. Get more on shotguns and soldier. Okay. Let's just make sure there's nobody else in the room we need to talk to. Nope. Okay. Who's that?
Hey,
Oh, there he is.
Sweetheart, you looking for some fun? 'Cause I gotta say, that soldier getup looks real good on that body of yours. Why don't you sit your sweet little ass down beside old Harkin? Have a drink. We'll see where this goes.
I'd rather drink a cup of acid after chewing on a razor blade.
You trying to hurt my feelings? You gotta do better than that. After 20 years with C-Sec, I've been called every name in the book, Princess.
Call me princess again and you'll be picking your teeth up off the floor. Now tell me where Garrus is.
Okay, just relax. Garrus, you say? You must be one of Anderson's crew. Poor bastard still trying to bring Saren down, huh? I know where Garrus is, but you gotta tell me something first. Did the captain let you in on his big secret?
Just tell me where Garrus is before this gets ugly.
But it's all related, don't you see? The captain used to be a Spectre. Didn't know that, did you? It was all very hush-hush. The first human ever given that honor, and then he blew it. screwed up his mission so bad they kicked him out. Of course, he blames Saren. Says the Turians set him up.
You said they covered all this up. How'd you hear about it?
I spent 20 years working cases here on the Citadel. People on this station love to talk. Secrets are like herpes. If you got them, you might as well spread them around.
Oh, God.
One more chance. Tell me where Garrus is. Now.
Whoa.
Okay, settle down. He went to speak to Dr.
That's an
Michelle over in the med clinic on the other side of
Jesus.
the wards.
What do you know about Garrus?
Damn hothead is what he is. Still figures he can save the world. Always bucking heads with the Executor. You'll pay for it soon enough. The Executor loves to put us lowly field agents in our place. Just look what happened to me.
You need to look in a mirror. Sober up and take some responsibility for yourself.
Save your sermons. This ain't no church.
What's it like working for CSEC?
You mean, what was it like? The Executor suspended me without pay. Recurring violations. CSEC was keeping a file on me. Can you believe that? Every mistake I ever made went into the books. Get a little rough with a suspect, note in the file. Have a couple of drinks on duty, note in the file. Skim a couple of credits off a drug bust, note in the file. It's a goddamn witch hunt.
You get off easy if you ask me.
What the hell do you know? Working for CSEC isn't like being a Marine. People get pissed off if we shoot somebody. Investigations, inquiries, rules, regulations. Every day I plow through enough red tape to choke a rhino. That's how you gotta be to do this job. So don't talk to me about right and wrong. You soldiers got it easy.
How well do you know Captain Anderson?
Met him a few times over the years. One of those hardcore military guys. Yes, sir. No, sir. Can't have any fun with a stick up your ass, sir. That's probably why he climbed the Alliance ranks so fast. The military loves brown-nosers.
The captain's a good soldier.
Sure, whatever. Dress him in a fancy suit, pin some shiny medals on his chest, and call him a hero. Everybody else does. But if he's so great, why'd the Spectres kick him out? Why'd you go ask him about that?
I'm out of here.
Yeah, good. Go. Let me drink in peace.
The back rooms are private, reserved for Fist and his friends.
Who's Fist?
He owns this club, but the customers have to stay out front.
What did that other Krogan want? Rex.
Personal matter.
Not real chatty, is he?
Goodbye.
Enjoy the club. Human military.
Why didn't Captain Anderson tell us he used to be a Spectre?
Maybe it's not true. Harkin's an ass.
Alright, so either financial district or med clinic.
Just messing with our heads.
You're probably right. Still, I'd like to hear what the captain has to say about all this.
Hello there. Welcome to Moorland's famous shop. You want many good supplies, yes?
Let me see what you have.
Oh, you will be pleased, I think. Very good things I have. You will see.
That's definitely better. Before we do this, let's see. Equipment. So for rifles, we want this to be her thing. Accuracy goes down, damage goes up. Yeah, get rid of that. Alright. Any upgrades? No upgrades. Alright. And then shotgun, something I'm using a good bit. Who cares about accuracy? So yes, we'll definitely that. Okay. Pistol. Caden seems to like his pistol. But that, I don't think. It's only slightly less accurate, but the heatsink is pretty bad. We'll leave that alone.
Hello there. Welcome to Moorland's famous shop. You want many good supplies, yes?
Let me see what you have.
Oh, you will be pleased, I think. Very good things I have. You will see.
That's more accurate and deals more damage. Oh, wait. What? Where's my... Oh, I don't have anywhere near money we really need. Let's get out of here for now. I'll wait till I save up some money.
You're Commander Shepard, the hero of Eden Prime. I am so honored to meet you.
Do I know you?
No, I'm just a fan. One of your biggest fans, actually. My name is Conrad.
That's weird.
Conrad Werner. They say you killed more than 100 Geth on Eden Prime.
I don't have time for this, Conrad. I'm not here to be a role model.
Oh, I see how it is. Commander Shepard doesn't have time for the little people.
Hey, never meet your heroes, man.
Get in your way. You go be a hero.
Weird dude.
Best place on this ward to buy upgrades.
I don't think you bought this here. I don't sell this pod.
Look, I know it was you. I remember.
So, med clinic. All right. Yeah. Oh.
I didn't tell anyone, I swear.
Whoa. That was smart, Doc. Now, if Garrus comes around, you stay smart. Keep your mouth shut or we'll... Who are you?
Let her go.
Ah!
Nice.
Perfect timing, Shepard. Gave me a clear shot at that bastard.
You took him down clean.
Sometimes you get lucky. Dr. Michelle, are you hurt?
No, I'm okay. Thanks to you. All of you.
Why were they threatening you? Who do they work for?
They work for Feast. They wanted to shut me up, keep me from telling Garrus about the Quarian.
Does this have anything to do with the investigation into Saren?
I think it might. Dr. Michelle, tell us what happened.
A few days ago, a Quarian came by my office. She'd been shot, but she wouldn't tell me who did it. I could tell she was scared, probably on the run. She asked me about the Shadow Broker. She wanted to trade information in exchange for a safe place to hide.
Where is she now?
I put her in contact with Fist. He's an agent for the Shadow Broker.
Not anymore. Now he works for Saren. And the Shadow Broker isn't too happy about it.
Fist betrayed the Shadow Broker? That's stupid even for him. Saren must have made him quite the offer.
That Quarian must have something Saren wants. Something worth crossing the Shadow Broker to get.
She must have something that proves he's a traitor. Did the Quarian mention anything about Saren, or the Geth?
She did. The information she was going to trade. She said it had something to do with the Geth.
She must be able to link Saren to the Geth. There's no way the Council can ignore this.
Time we paid Fist a visit.
This is your show, Shepard. But I want to bring Saren down as much as you do. I'm coming with you.
You're a Turian. Why do you want to bring him down?
I couldn't find the proof I needed in my investigation, but I knew what was really going on. Saren is a traitor to the Council and a disgrace to my people.
Welcome aboard, Garrus.
You know, we aren't the only ones going after Fist. The Shadow Broker hired a Krogan bounty hunter named Rex to take him out.
Yeah, we saw him in the bar.
A Krogan might come in handy.
Last I heard, he was at the CSEC Academy.
What's he doing there?
Fist accused him of making threats. We brought Rex in for a little talk. If you hurry, you can catch him at the Academy before he leaves.
Move out.
Ooh, nice. Okay. So... she's a soldier. That leaves just me with biotic strength. So actually probably should go this way. No, she... That's even across the board. Let's go that way and I'll do the biotics. Ooh, 10 points. It's level 3, so let's give him 3 of those. So Rex, CSEC Academy. I think I'm just gonna try to piss Conrad off. Every time I see him, I'm just gonna be a jerk to him. Alright. Anything in here worthwhile? Nope. Nice.
I never properly thanked you for saving me from Fist's thugs, Commander. I don't know what would have happened if you hadn't been there.
You're a doctor. How did you end up here on the Citadel?
My parents brought me here when I was young. My father was a medic with the Alliance. I chose to keep the medical tradition alive, but not the military. Fixing up wounded soldiers isn't my idea of fun.
Let me take a look at what you have for sale.
Of course.
Nah, I don't have enough money for that to be worth it right now. Alright. Ah, wow, I keep doing that. I'm trying to do this. Okay. What's that? A store. Okay. Where's Citadel Security? Maybe it's at the embassies. There's the bank. That's Avena. Oh, Citadel Security HQ. Is that where I'm trying to go?
Commander Shepard, I didn't expect to see you here. Did Ambassador Udina send you?
Have we met before?
No, but I know you well enough. I'm Executor Palin, head of CSEC. It's my job to know when someone like you arrives on the Citadel. Was there something you needed, Commander?
Tell me about your investigation into Saren.
Sorry, Commander. I don't make a habit of giving out details about ongoing investigations.
Tell me about CSEC.
CSEC provides necessary police and security services throughout the Citadel. We're a civilian government agency, though many of our members have had military training. Of course, as the CSEC representative to the Council, I spend most of my time liaising between the two.
What do you know about the Spectres?
They're the right hand of the Council, or so they like to be called. More like the underhanded side of the Council.
What do you have against the Spectres?
I can't abide any organization that considers itself above the law, especially when it's left up to each individual Spectre to decide when and how to bend the rules.
I get the feeling you're not too fond of humans.
No, I just don't trust your kind. Not yet. You humans are eager to take all the power you can get, and you're being given a lot. If the Council wants to make humanity their new favorite pet, that's their business. But I don't have to like it.
I'll be going now.
Goodbye, Commander.
In question at CSEC Academy, you can meet him there. CSEC Academy. Well, let's go to the bank real quick, I guess. Unless, because I don't see consort chambers. There's the bank. Yeah, because I don't see CSEC Academy anywhere. Alright, so we'll go to the bank for now.
What do you want? Oh, Commander. Is there something I can do for you?
Calm down, Private. This isn't an inspection.
Right, sorry. What can I do for you, Commander?
What can you tell me about the Asari Consort?
Well, she's an Asari who works here as... That is, she helps people with things.
You never went to see her, did you?
No, I never did. I couldn't afford it. It costs half a year's credits just to go in and talk to her.
Can you at least tell me where I can find her?
Sure. She's across the bridge from the embassies.
Thanks, kid. Have fun. Try not to get into too much trouble.
I will. Have fun, that is.
I don't have time to talk now. I'm very busy.
Hello, Commander. Can I get you something?
Goodbye.
So long, Commander. Have a pleasant day.
This place seems strange. I wish there were more humans around.
Alright, so CSEC Academy is back where I came from, but for now, let's keep heading to the bank.
Welcome to Presidium Tourism Terminal 3. Here in the financial district, a number of businesses offer various goods and services to their exclusive clientele. The statue you see before you was commissioned to honor the Krogan soldiers who gave their lives to protect Citadel space during the Rachni Wars. In the aftermath of the Krogan rebellions, several embassies petitioned to have the statue removed. However, this motion was eventually quashed by the Council.
What were the Rachni Wars?
Nearly 2,200 years ago, explorers seeking to expand Citadel space opened up mass relays leading to systems controlled by the Rachni. A highly intelligent and aggressive insect race, the Rachni unleashed a war of conquest against the rest of the galaxy that lasted for nearly 3 centuries. The emergence of the Krogan finally turned the tide in favor of the Citadel species. Krogan forces provided the numbers necessary to halt the Rachni advance and drive them back. The Krogan then pursued their retreating fleets. Able to survive the harsh environments of the Rachni homeworlds, the Krogan hunted their enemy to extinction.
Was it really necessary to wipe them out?
I am sorry, but a value judgment of that nature goes beyond my programming.
Why did the Council fight so hard to keep the statue?
The Krogan were instrumental in saving the galaxy from the Rachni threat. The Council believed this historical fact should not be forgotten. The Council also hoped that preserving the memorial would improve diplomatic relations with the Krogan and bring about a peaceful resolution to the rebellions. Unfortunately, the Krogan refused to negotiate and only surrendered after their population and homeworlds had been ravaged by the Turians.
What were the Rachni Wars?
Nearly 2,200 years ago, the Krogan then pursued their retreating fleets. Able to survive the harsh environments of the Rachni homeworlds, the Krogan hunted their enemy to extinction.
Tell me more about the Krogan rebellions.
In recognition of their efforts during the Rachni Wars, the Krogan were granted several new colony worlds by the Council. Over the next 400 years, the Krogan species began to expand. Blessed with an extremely high birth rate, their numbers began to swell. Faced with a critical overpopulation crisis, the Krogan started a violent colonization of nearby worlds inhabited by other Council species. The Krogan rebellions had begun. For a full century, the Council and its member species fought to bring the Krogan under control. With the aid of the newly discovered Turian Empire, they were ultimately successful.
You needed the Krogan to stop the Rachni, then you needed the Turians to stop the Krogan. So who's gonna stop the Turians?
I am sorry, but that question is beyond my programming parameters.
This is right
the
behind
Turians
you.
are members of the Citadel Council. They are not a threat to galactic peace.
That's all for now.
Thank you for using Avina. Have a pleasant day.
Ah, human. This one is greatly pleased to see you here in my decadent emporium.
Who are you?
This one's face name is Delaninder, though many in this place simply refer to it as Delan. Please take time to examine the fine goods it has for purchase, all of great worth.
Why do you refer to yourself as this one and it?
For the same reason that humans are so inquisitive. It is part of our culture. Specifically, Hanar only refer to themselves in the first person with family or intimates. And we rarely do so with other species. It is just our way.
Who are you?
This one's face. Please take time to examine the fine goods it has for purchase, all of great worth.
What exactly do you sell?
Only the finest and most luxurious items that credits can buy. This one is able to procure almost any item the human would desire, for a price, naturally.
I think I should be going.
Return soon. This one receives new shipments regularly.
What's this? One of the Earth Clan. Ah, a very famous one, yes? You are the one called Shepard. The tale of how you survived the great tragedy on Akuz is truly remarkable. I am amazed each time I hear it.
You've got me at a disadvantage here.
Forgive me, Earth Clan. My name is Barla Vaughn. My job makes it necessary for me to keep informed. I am a financial advisor to many important clients here on the Citadel. When someone as important as yourself arrives on the station, I take notice.
I heard you work for the Shadow Broker. Do you have any information about Saren?
You're very blunt, Shepard. But you're right. I am an agent for the Shadow Broker, and I do know something about Saren.
I hear your information can be expensive.
Normally, this information would cost a small fortune. But these are exceptional circumstances, so I am going to give it to you for free.
What's the catch?
There is no catch. The Shadow Broker is quite upset with Saren right now. They used to do a lot of business, until Saren turned on him.
Saren betrayed him. Imagine that.
No matter what you think of Saren, he's not stupid. He knows the Shadow Broker is a valuable ally. Turning on him doesn't make sense. Not unless something huge was at stake. I don't know the details, but the Shadow Broker hired a freelancer to deal with it. A Krogan mercenary.
I think I know him. His name's Rex.
Yes, I believe he's the one. I heard he was paying a visit to Citadel Security. If you hurry, you might catch him before he leaves the CSEC Academy.
Isn't it strange that a Krogan would want to speak with CSEC?
Very. However, I doubt the visit was entirely his choice. You'll need to speak with him if you want to know more.
Tell me more about your job.
Galactic finance is incredibly complex. A mix of laws and regulations from dozens of interstellar economies. I'm an expert in how all these economies interact. For a fee, I share my expertise. I also offer premium services for those clients who need someone to conduct business without drawing unwanted attention. Discreet and efficient. That's my motto.
Sounds pretty shady.
Everything I do falls completely within the bounds of interstellar commerce law. Even so, many of my clients would prefer their transactions remain undisclosed. For example, suppose a Hanar ambassador was petitioning the Council to reduce tariffs on Hanar goods. How would it look if he had money invested in a Hanar exporting company? Even if his true motives were to help his people, he would be accused of advancing the petition for his own personal gain. I can keep his personal finances private.
Still sounds shady to me.
Then we can only hope he will never be cursed with a large enough fortune to require my services.
Tell me more about the Shadow Broker.
Most people think I deal in finances, but my real currency is knowledge. I trade information, and it has made me very wealthy. But the Shadow Broker is the true master. Every day he buys and sells secrets that could topple governments, always giving them to the highest bidder. Yet somehow he never seems to upset the natural balance of power. All those secrets being passed around seem to even out. Nobody ends up with an advantage in the end.
Any guess what his identity might be?
I don't know. Nobody does. The Shadow Broker could be any race, any gender. I have a theory that it's actually an entire group working under one identity. How else could they juggle so many contacts at the same time? How else could they keep all that information from getting crossed? But they've got the perfect setup. Every government is forced to play their game so they don't get behind. But no matter how long you play, no matter how many secrets you buy, you can never win.
I thought you'd know more about the man you work for.
From time to time, I come across information I sell to the Shadow Broker. That's my only involvement. I like it that way. The more you know, the more dangerous the game becomes. I don't like danger, Commander. I'll leave that to you.
What's it like living here on the Citadel?
The station is without a doubt the greatest wonder in the galaxy. It is a technological marvel, but its true splendor goes much deeper than the hull and engines. From the Presidium to the wards, the entire station is a testament to the success of the Council. All the species of Citadel spaced together in a single, strong community.
What are the wards like?
The cultural heart of the galaxy. They pulse with the lifeblood of millions of citizens from dozens of different species. You never know what you'll find down in the wards, Commander. It's always full of surprises. Fortunately, most of them are pleasant.
What makes the Presidium so special?
It is the political center of Citadel space. 80% of all intelligent species in the known galaxy acknowledge the Council's authority on interstellar matters. But only the most powerful and influential species have embassies here on the Presidium. This level of the station is reserved for the elite, Shepard. People like us.
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander.
Okay, I think that's probably a good place to stop. Yep, there's a transport. We'll stand next to it so that we can go straight to Rex as soon as we start the next one.